Game developers use the word playthrough now. I was the one who created that term back in the day.
This is Phil Burnell, aka Darkside Phil, or just DSP for short. You've probably heard of him, or at the very least heard about this incident. Yeah, this is that guy.
Oh, the camera's on. The camera's been on the whole time, huh?
If not, I won't go into too much detail about the ins and outs, but to say he's an interesting character would be a rather large understatement.
I need money!
Oh, you do want some backstory? Well, alright then, I'll do a quick recap of Phil's content creation career. DSP uploaded his first Let's Play videos to YouTube in 2008. Back then he created them by pointing a video camera at his TV screen, and audio from the game along with his live commentary would all be picked up by the camera's onboard mic.
What we've got here is my setup of how I record. Now as you can see, not direct capture, very different from what everyone else does, and I actually recorded my gameplay in this style probably way before the majority of people out there who actually do gameplay footage these days, okay?
He'd stubbornly continue to produce his content in this manner until finally giving into fan pressure in 2013 and adopting what he continues to refer to as direct capture. He bought a capture card.
This was before I did direct capture, by the way. Direct capture footage. Again, not direct capture. To make it a more modernized playthrough with direct capture. Now, for 4 years, I've been doing direct capture and live streaming. I wasn't even doing direct capture yet. So this is the first year I was doing direct capture. I see. We're so used now to direct capture with a camera, not direct capture. Back then, of course, I was stubborn about changing from camera to direct capture. A clean playthrough, now I'd have direct capture. Again, those were games I played before I did direct capture. Direct capture, indirect capture, or adopted direct capture. This is before I did direct capture. Direct capture. I didn't have direct capture. Direct capture. I wish that I did direct capture back then, but I didn't. So a lot of the videos from back then were a lot of work to put together. Luckily back then I got tons of views, so it was worth it.
You get the picture. Phil streamed on Twitch between 2013 and 2014, and then switched to YouTube in 2014 until November 2016, when he moved back to Twitch and stayed there until he lost his Twitch partnership. And he's been streaming on YouTube ever since.
Hello?
After each stream, he'll quickly upload the gameplay segments to YouTube in 2 or 3 chunks with no editing, and then delete his VODs. In the earlier days, when directly monetizing gameplay footage on YouTube wasn't really an option, DSP would try his hand at diversifying his content. For instance, he had a short-lived comedic series named Poorly Cooking with the King, which he stated, depending on what day it is, was either a deliberate piss take of more serious cooking shows in which he plays an exaggerated caricature of himself, or just Phil being Phil.
Alright. Our bacon is sizzling, which is good. This is gonna go right down the shitter. Safest thing to do with bacon grease. Oh yeah! Hot fucking potatoes.
In any case, over the years, the content like this has dried up, and apart from Patreon pledges, dwindling YouTube ad revenue, and the odd t-shirt sale, Phil is now almost solely reliant on his stream viewers for income. So why are we here today? Well, I was thinking about what I could bring to the table regarding DSP as someone who's done a bit of streaming and content creation, but was almost hesitant to say anything. And then he said this.
Local Nomad has tipped me $8. He says, do you ever foresee yourself having the more typical streaming setup, sitting behind a desk with dual monitors, or do you prefer your current more laid-back setup? I've always liked the more laid-back setup. Dude, okay, in real life, outside of people who are content creators, who the fuck sits down in front of their computer with dual monitors and a light shining in their face and a bunch of fucking neon lights behind them? This is a normal setup. You sit back, you relax in a chair, you play a game, you have fun. I've always wanted to have that kind of an atmosphere in my content. I want it to be realistic. This is me playing a game, enjoying it, sharing that experience with you. This is not, oh, I'm a professional streamer, so I have to have fucking eye candy shining behind me and the perfect lamp on my face that makes me look good, and I do makeup on my fucking face, and I comb my hair with fucking, you know, gel every morning. It looks so good when I play on stream for you. Like, what the fuck, dude? You're just a gamer. You're just a gamer. You play video games. Just enough with you're not a fucking model. We don't need it to be like a fucking professional film studio where, you know, so, oh, fabulous. Oh, pose. Oh, slaying me. You're slaying me with your streams. No, you don't need to do that. You just fucking play like a normal human. I hate that shit. I really do. I hate people who are fake. And that shit is just so fake to me. Be legit. Be real. Be like a normal person playing the game, you know?
And I said, You what? So now that Phil's basically called out everyone that I've met online over the last year, I think it's fair game.
Hello. Breathe. Hello. Breathe. Hello. Breathe. Money.
No, seriously, I'm not going to spend the video bashing Phil. I just wanted to see if I could try and turn his content into something positive and helpful for any new streamers out there. Or just anyone looking to pick up some pointers. Oh, and what Phil was just ranting about is called production value, by the way, and I want you to know that production value is a very good thing and can go a long way to making your stream successful. Yes, okay, without the Phil angle, most of this is fairly obvious new streamer advice, and it's been covered a million times over in much more detail from people like Guile Level, Truey, Stream Scheme, Wild for Games, Alpha Gaming, Gaming Careers, Nutty, Quirky Pixel. The list is endless. But I'm hoping that seeing this stuff through the DSP lens might help to bring these points home. And while I'm sure this will be seen by fans of Phil as detractor content, I'm gonna try my very best to stay away from some of the lower hanging fruit, and I'll leave the detracting to the pros. So anyway, let's get into it. You might have thought this first section would be about what you do before you hit go live, and you'd be forgiven for thinking that. A lot of streamers use a pre-stream checklist to make sure they're ready. However, I'm sorry to say it's not about that at all. Throughout that entire intro, you've been looking at the first hour and a half of a typical DSP stream. This is the part of the stream that he refers to as pre-stream. And every stream it's the same. It'll be a fan art slideshow cycling round and round, no webcam and Phil talking endlessly about gaming news and drama, what he did on his day off, and most of all, his never-ending issues with money.
My pre-stream is my daily vlog with you guys, you know? And it allows me that once this pre-stream's over, now I can primarily focus on the game. Even though, yes, there's still tons of interaction, it's more about focused on the game rather than, oh, we all had burning questions that you didn't answer because you jumped right into the game, okay? For me, I get it out of the way in the beginning of the stream so that we can have a fun stream that's not impeded by that stuff. A lot of these people that people are mentioning, oh, well, they don't ever do a pre-stream. Right, but then when you watch their streams, aren't they mentioning things in between? Oh, go check out my Patreon. You should buy this product. Here, this event's going on later. And it all cuts into the gameplay. You see? Imagine if this entire first hour of me playing Dark Souls 3, I'm talking about my schedule, I'm plugging things, I'm giving shout-outs, and then guess what? I can't get any progress because I'm not concentrating on the fucking game. You know, so I'm dying, I'm standing around, wasting time. That's not quality gameplay to me. You know what I mean? I want the gameplay to be about the gameplay. And yes, there's interactivity where we hang out. And certain games, by the way, do cater themselves to an interactive stream. But if I'm playing Dark fucking Souls, you gotta concentrate on what the fuck you're doing, you know? Oh, shout out to Straight Cash Homie. He says, hi, DSP and stream. Straight Cash Homie is now the top cheerer for today. Thank you, because we've had a very slow day today, quite frankly. Thank you, Straight Cash Homie, top cheerer for today. We don't even have a single tipper yet today, so anyone who chips, you're gonna get right up there on the leaderboard right away. If you really want to help me out today, guys, tipping is the best way to do it. Tipping is gonna help me in the short term. With early September, I'm gonna have some issues paying bills because I made no money on YouTube for 3 weeks while they disabled my advertisement revenue for no reason. It was a glitch on their part because they're fucking idiots. So if you tip me, those funds will help me out in early September until I get paid from Twitch, which is in mid-September. So, that's not quality gameplay to me. You know what I mean?
After that extended period of self-indulgent waffle, he'll decide to take a break, sometimes for up to half an hour.
Alright, I think it's time for our break, guys. Take this opportunity yourselves, grab a drink, a snack, use the restroom, get ready, because when I come back, we're going to jump into Mass Effect 3. Alright, thank you for the support so far. I shall be back shortly. Thank you, guys. See you in just a bit.
And then after all of this, he'll finally move on to gameplay.
Okay, everybody, I'm back, and apologies. I kept sneezing during the break, man. Very annoying.
There's no one real tip to point out here. I'd hope that it'd be obvious what's wrong. I just really needed to touch on this section for any newcomers that won't be familiar with Phil and how he does things. What I will say is that if you think about it, given that these sections on Twitch were never classed as just chatting, coupled with the fact that they're advertised as gameplay streams, This entire 2-hour segment basically acts as a starting soon screen, and there are plenty of arguments on Twitter and Reddit from people that say you shouldn't be using these at all, even for 5 or 10 minutes. You might notice the disparity in the font between his tip notifications, his leaderboard, and the fan art itself, but we'll come back to these later. If you consider yourself a variety streamer, as Phil does, you play games from every genre, you're not really a professional gamer and you're just streaming really to have a good time and hang out, then the main focus of everyone's attention should be you and your personality. You want to keep the conversation going, and regardless of whether it's about the game or whatever else, you should be talking and interacting constantly. Honestly, just having people in your chat talking away, asking you questions, making suggestions about the stream, or yes, even backseating the game is one of the biggest buzzes a streamer can get, and you can't afford to take them for granted. Ignoring people, or God forbid ranting at and insulting them, is not a good look, and it's a great way of turning your viewers off forever.
I literally today alone have mentioned it about 10 times on my streams. So what you should do is actually attend my streams and listen, and not derail us with bullshit.
Since losing his Twitch partnership in April 2021 and moving back to streaming on YouTube, Phil has dealt with the influx of trolls in his chat by turning on a mode which actually disallows anyone that hasn't been subscribed to him for a set period of time from chatting. As I'm sure you can imagine, this is a huge turn off for anyone visiting your stream for the first time. Because of this, his chat moves as slowly as a relative newcomer, so he has no real excuse to ignore them as much as he does. There is a surefire way of getting a message read out by Phil, but just typing it out in the chat isn't likely to catch his attention, if you know what I mean. I want you to imagine that your stream is a TV show and you're the viewer. You've just switched over to this new show you've never heard of before, and you see your face up there on the TV in front of a game. Are you hooked? Do you keep watching for more than 5 minutes? Does it make you want to know more about the person on screen and maybe look them up on social media? What if we asked these same questions about a DSP stream?
Nah.
Seems to me that an easy fix here would be to not waste an hour and a half at the start of your stream talking over fan art, so all the points you would have raised then could be spread out while you're actually playing the game. And that's my big tip for any new streamers who might be struggling to keep talking while your chat's quiet. Have a list of talking points ready before each stream, whether that be funny things that have happened to you recently, that cool new piece of info that's just been announced about a game that you're looking forward to, or just something as simple and stupid as the weather. Just anything to keep the chat moving. Remember what I said about this being a TV show? Or when was the last time you turned on a TV and saw someone blankly staring off, waiting for their audience to talk to them? Or even worse, this.
I'm not falling asleep. I'm listening to the story, guys. You guys aren't talking to me, so I'm listening to the story. I'm paying attention. People are like, oh, Phil's falling asleep. He's not talking to us. Like, no one's talking to me. No one's tagging me in the chat. So I'm just paying attention to the story of the characters. That's all.
At least I went down doing what I loved.
Leading on from this, the other thing I want to say can be pretty brutal to hear. Don't blame your viewers for lack of engagement.
Gel Sculpture said, you said chat doesn't talk to you. Why don't you try engaging chat? Talk to us, ask us questions, entertain us. You're the streamer. That's not how it works. Why would I want to ask you questions? I'm the person who's playing a game. Do you have questions about the game? Do you have questions about my schedule? Do you have questions about things I'll be doing? Why would the person ask you questions? How does that even make any sense? That's like... that's like anyone else does a live stream, and tons of people have things to ask them and talk to them. I have to make up questions to ask my audience. Okay, I'm sure that's how it works, Charles Scow. Whatever you say. The whole point of a live stream that you're attending is that you're supposed to find the streamer entertaining and want to interact with them. Not the other way around. My job is to play the game, enjoy the game, have fun, and share that experience with you and react to what you talk to me about. Not Also, while I'm playing the game, now come up with 20 topics of discussion. Why am I playing the game then? Might as well turn the game off and we'll do here. We'll close the game and we'll just talk all night. And I'll just think of topics of discussion, right? I mean, that's the dumbest thing I've ever fucking heard. But, that's what I mean. People want to be critical and they want to say that I'm a bad streamer. Go fuck yourself. Okay. Once again, we have well over 200 people here on the stream. Thank you everyone for joining me. However, you guys might want to talk. I'm just saying. Chat is slow and you have a lot of people talking, man. Come on. I'm not interacting with you. I'm trying to play the game. No one's talking to me. So why would I be interacting with you exactly? Do you understand how a stream works? That you like tag the streamer says, oh, you're talking to me? Or else you're supposed to be reacting to what's going on the stream. That's how it works. My stream chat is dead. I don't know what's going on. Blammo!
If your chat isn't moving or people aren't showing up, then to paraphrase Harris Heller, you need to assume that you're doing something wrong. Is the game you're playing oversaturated? Is it too niche? Are you actually talking and interacting? Is your audio terrible? Or are you constantly raging and generally making the atmosphere uncomfortable?
Alright, fuck this. No, how about this? Banned. Gone. Forever. Because I don't put up with your fucking bullshit. Your toxic shit is not welcome on my fucking streams ever. So get the fuck out now. It's not a funny fucking joke. It's not. You're out of here. So I'm done with it. If I see it once, you're banned. And you're not coming back. No begging me in emails. Can I be unbanned? I didn't know. Fuck you, you toxic idiot. You gotta bring up fucking Nazis on my stream. Fuck you. You're banned. Are you fucking kidding me? Fuck this. No, I'm done. I'm done. I'm not doing it again. I refuse. I absolutely refuse. That's the worst thing ever. They have no idea how to make a final boss fight. They ruined the whole game.
Oh, and as much as you can, watch your VODs back after every stream. Analyse what you're doing and learn from them. Trust me, you'll learn to stop cringing at the sound of your own voice over time. But really ask yourself, do you find you interesting? If not, then do something different next time. As someone particularly interested in audio, I'd also use this as an opportunity to tweak my sound settings. There'd always be something I'd be doing wrong, whether it was some compression setting that needed to be tweaked or just forgetting to have background music playing. And if you need any further pointers, I've got a whole other video on the subject. Okay, so branding is pretty subjective, and I'm not going to tell you or Phil how your streams should look, but I'd say at a minimum I'd want my fonts and colour scheme to remain consistent across my overlay. That includes my notifications, my leaderboard as Phil calls it, and then also my starting screens and the art in my Twitch panels or YouTube About Me pages. Also, as a side note, wouldn't you think that someone that had been content creating for 13 years would at least have a single recognisable logo? And if graphic design isn't your thing, then there's people out there whose thing it is and places you can go to contact them. Just go to Fiverr and pay a $5. And having a logo was just an example. If you wanted, you could get in touch with someone and get them to redesign your entire online presence. Just something to add a bit of professionalism. This is my overlay, by the way. It's not brilliant, but it's clean, it's consistent, and I made it all myself for nothing, so yeah, it's a bit outdated I think, because I'm pretty sure the current trend is to be as minimalist as possible. But that's the thing, it probably would have ended up that way because it was constantly evolving. Between every stream I'd change at least one thing about it, whether that was the size or orientation of the cam box or just some of the bells and whistles like channel point rewards that'd make things pop up on the screen or change the colour of my lighting. But anyway, here's the kicker. This is all so DSP. It's on brand for him that his stream looks this way. Why, you ask? Well, I'm just going to have to say it. He's really, really lazy.
When I started, I was one of the innovators of doing the kind of commentary that I was doing.
No, really lazy.
And there wasn't a ton of it. Over time, when people saw the dollar signs, they said, oh, Darkside Phil and these other 12 people are making a living doing this. They rushed the site, and they rushed it with production values, money backing them, expertise, and these people became these like professionally produced channels that didn't, you know, I mean, how can I fucking compete with that? With someone who's scripting their gameplay, doing all this high level editing and shit. I don't have that know-how. I never did. I was just this Joe Schmo nobody making silly videos. I'm the average guy playing games. That's what it was supposed to be. Me being funny, dicking around, and just having a good time with games. Now, every video on YouTube now has to be the highest production value of everything. Like, what's the point of that? Then to go watch a fucking professionally made TV show, right? But that's what I mean. Like, what happened is people saw the dollar signs. They saw people like me and others making money with little to no expertise, little to no production values. And they rushed the site and flooded it with similar content, only it had sky-high production values. They had partnerships, they had sponsorships. They jumped into it at such a high level that everyone's mentality changed, that all content should now be overly produced or scripted, over this, over that. That's how it just became over time, okay?
What do you do when you want to make a change to a video edit or a tweak to your setup and you're not really sure how to go about it? Well, you do what you might have done to end up watching this video. You look it up. You research things and you experiment with new ideas. The problem with Phil is that any changes to his content have been suggested to him by his regulars over long periods of time, and presumably with a fair amount of arm twisting. As he's so reluctant to lift a finger most of the time, coupled with the fact that he's famously stubborn, these things will get dragged out over long periods of time and they'll become recurring topics of discussion on his pre-streams. For instance, he'll speak about implementing channel point rewards or polls as though it's some big thing that has to be signed off by a committee or team of producers. He didn't just go out and buy a capture card, and feel free to join in with me here, Phil, adopted direct capture. Something that he resisted for 5 or 6 years, and it's become such a large part of his history, as you saw earlier, that it gets brought up in some way during most streams. Changes that he finally does make will be passed off as new and exciting ways you can interact with the stream that people have been asking for a long time, as though just that is going to turn new viewers onto him. When for anyone else, these changes and upgrades will be simple tweaks that you'll just stick into your setup and you might never mention them. On the marketing side of things, most content creators I've got to know have realised that if you want to get anywhere with streaming, or you've decided you want to start taking it seriously, then just sitting down in front of a game and hitting go live is only a small part of what you'll be doing. You'll be networking with other streamers and content creators using apps like Twitter and Discord to keep your audience up to date with your endeavours. Learning new skills like video editing for chopping up your footage into smaller bite-sized chunks for consumption on TikTok, Instagram and YouTube Shorts. And learning Photoshop, or at the very least some sort of rudimentary image editing software. Also, you have something to put on your social media to drive people towards your channel. There's a lot to it. And you'll quickly find that any free time is taken up by either the stream itself, something to make the stream better, or ways of driving people to your stream. But really, aside from adding new fan art to his pre-stream and break slideshow and holding the odd fundraiser marathon if things get really desperate, DSP's only marketing tactic is to wait for new game releases and chase day one views, hoping that new people will come by and support what he's doing. Oh, and a plain white schedule that he posts on his Twitter. Just stop for a minute and think about how far you'd get just posting that thing every week.
It's lazy mode at least possible effort for maximum profits.
You said it, brother. Wait, you said that?
I could go on for hours about this, but I'll just say that if you are interested in learning more about Phil's branding from someone that actually knows what they're talking about, I'll point you in the direction of a YouTuber called Brittany Gates.
If you are a content creator, or if you are running your business, you have to realize that you sometimes have to step out of your element and give the customers what they want.
She has a few DSP related videos that are well worth a watch, even going so far as to offer to manage Phil's branding for an entire year for free. Now, we all know he's never going to take her up on this offer, let alone admit anything's wrong, but doesn't just this alone prove that there's a wealth of information out there and people willing to help you? Streaming's difficult, and focusing your attention and energy on analysing your viewership and especially money, instead of just relaxing and trying to put on the best show you can, is going to get you down, make you lose morale and just distract you from what's important. If you're just starting out, it really should just be about you making the best of yourself and honing your craft.
please support the stream.
As a new streamer without a pre-existing viewer base, how much money you're making really shouldn't be a consideration, let alone something to stress yourself over. Looking at Phil's streams more closely in preparation for this video have made me realise what a cautionary tale his story really is. This guy had years as one of the most popular video game creators on YouTube, with sizable viewing figures that could have easily been carried over into a comfortably lucrative streaming career once the YouTube bubble burst. I mean, yes, he streams for a living and makes it pay, but my god, does he beg for it.
I am going to send out a tweet, see if I can get anyone here who maybe want to come support the stream, because I don't understand what's going on tonight, quite frankly. Again, guys, if you are liking the content tonight, please consider contributing. I mean, it's one of the slowest nights I've had in streaming history this year, like really bad. I don't know why, because you guys seem to be liking the stream and everything. Usually that translates to people supporting, just not tonight for some odd reason. Alright, guys, come on, let's rally. We can hit this tips goal. We get $200 tonight. I know we can do it. Everyone rally right now. Let's make it happen. Please support the streams. If you like it, I need the support, okay? This is now, what, the 3rd to 4th straight Call of Duty stream where it's like, what is going on? Why, you know, everyone loves it, but contributions are not, almost non-existent. We have not had a tip in 30 minutes. Great, great. Well, thank you guys who did support the stream. I appreciate it. It's 2 slow nights in a row now. When I needed the help, it sucks, but what can you do? What can you do, right? I still had a good time tonight. Yes, the earlier goal was hit, and that will help some, but I really, really wanted to hit both. Now I'm going to be short tomorrow. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if, you know, I hope I have enough. It depends. I don't know how many groceries I need to get and stuff. This is the last chance, and I have to appeal to you one more time. We got less than 20 minutes left on the stream. We didn't even hit the vest goal tonight. This is not good. This is why I'm telling you guys, I'm not joking about, if I can't even get close to hitting the tips goals on the streams, I can't stay on Twitch anymore. Alright? More than enough people cheer and sub when those things were available. I need people to buy in and say, okay, I used to cheer, I used to sub, I'm not going to do that anymore, I'm going to come tip instead.
Okay, so here's a really quick one just to end the video on. Phil spends the majority of his gameplay staring off to the side, which is absolutely fine. Your gameplay monitor might not be directly under your webcam, except his screen is off to the side where normally he'd be looking outside of the screen and not into the screen. It just looks kind of wrong. There's a couple of things you can do to prevent this. One, you can just flip your cam.
I come to save the day. Old Ken is on his way.
Or two, you can just stick your camera over the other side of the screen.
Old Ken. Old Ken. He's old and he's Ken. Oh!
Admittedly, this is purely for aesthetic reasons, and it may only be a handful of people that notice something like this. But when you do orient yourself to be facing into the game, it just looks like you're watching the game rather than staring off at something outside of the screen. It's not a major thing, but it's just something to be aware of. And with regards to Phil, it's just another line you can add to the bafflingly long list of things you'd think someone would have picked up in the amount of time he's been doing this. I'd file it next to this little thing I noticed the other day. He clearly doesn't know that you can resize your cam and border at the same time in OBS. Just add them to a group and resize that instead of the individual components. Now, you may have just learned that, and that's actually great. I would be ecstatic if just one person learnt something from this video. It's just, this is his job, and it's been his job for 13 years. Is it any wonder he got left behind? I guess if there needs to be an ultimate point or conclusion to this video, the easiest thing to do would be to flip the title from a statement to a question and say something like, "Don't be like DSP." To go a bit deeper, I really feel like the reason that watching this schadenfreude is so addictive is because it's both fascinating and frustrating to me just how simple it'd be to fix what he does. Hence the reason for making this video. Just be a nice person and common sense should pretty much take care of the rest. It's completely futile as far as Phil is concerned, as he considers himself far too busy to spend his time making changes. His short-sightedness dictates that missing streams means missing out on money, regardless of how these changes could positively impact his content. So keep making changes and experiment. Never settle for what's good enough, and strive to be a better streamer at every opportunity. But the bottom line should be to have fun, shouldn't it? If you're interested in learning more about the DSP rabbit hole, I would highly recommend you start with Frederick Knudson's Down the Rabbit Hole video, and then progress on to Secret Limited's yearly DSP Top 10 videos. Then, if you can stand to watch any more, congratulations! I think you probably qualify as a detractor. There's actually been some really fascinating stuff coming out on the subject recently, and I want to give my last shout out to Steve of the Dead, who's been diving into the psychology of DSP, and I'll admit, it's fucking inspired me to get off my arse and make this video.
You would laugh your ass off because I was so bad at what I was doing on purpose, like I knew.
You people got the joke. People knew it was a joke, Phil. You fucking moron.
Knew I wasn't a cook, you know. I knew that what I was doing was.
I would highly recommend his channel. That's going to be it from me, everyone. Thank you very much for watching. I'm going to spare you the normal YouTube bollocks and just say, if you did enjoy the video, you know what to do. See you later. Ways of making the stream better or something to... No. This is the one now. Something to do and a distract you from what's important. Bollocks.
Hello.
Can you say adopted direct capture?
Doctor.